time on IRB Sevens World, we look back on the start of the HSBC Sevens World Series and the performances of round 1 in Australia. We hit the gym and the running track with England's flying machine. Go behind the scenes with Portugal as they take their first steps as a core team. And we have all the latest from Asia, including Rugby World Cup Sevens qualifying. First, though, a reminder of the best of the action from the Gold Coast in October and the first round of the HSBC Sevens World Series. The first Sevens crowds of the season were treated to rugby right out of the top draw, not least from Kenya and their new coach, who together battled all the way through to the semis.
Now Monday, and he's got men on the outside. Ed Jenkins, the captain. Ed Jenkins, he's not going to get there. Runaway try, Dennis Mbaki.
I'm speechless myself at the moment. I can't fault the boys. What you've seen out there is the passion and the pride of playing for their country.
And Kenya not the only side to lay down an early marker. New core team Spain also impressive. A bold title, the reward for a first ever victory over England. Both of the African sides through to the semis, and South Africa showing more innovative touches to claim third place overall. Veteran Frankie Horn incredibly playing his 43rd consecutive IRB Sevens tournament.
What a sign. There's your hard-nosed prop forward in the game of sevens.
But it was familiar foes in the Cup. New Zealand under strength, but still strong against an almost all-new Fiji.
3-2, wide out. Waitini's in the corner. Real chance here. 3-1, and it's through with the captain, Levani Batia. Batia. Well played, beautiful pass. Ramkamate. Covering back is Thummer, but he's made it again. Absolutely brilliant. And will there be one more yet? And this is Eli today. On the bounce, it's control. Oh, it's a kind bounce, and it's a try to wrap it up in style. Absolutely brilliant.
Thank the boys. They are new boys. They're just playing 15 in Fiji, and it's the first time we come and play seven and they do well. We thank the boys.
It's pretty tough out there now. There's no easy games, and it's going to make it even more than tough going into the future tournaments. I will bounce back. I've got a little promise that we're going to try and win Dubai this year. We're going to put a lot of emphasis into winning Dubai and make it a real special tournament.
Fiji ahead by just 3 series points then. The challenge laid down, and New Zealand already gunning for revenge. Plenty to play for over the next 2 rounds. And as the team captains lined up at the start line in Australia, for 3, it was all new. Canada, Spain and Portugal earning the right to play in all 9 rounds this season.
We are here in Gold Coast. Portugal is now a core team, and we are really happy for that. I think that's going to be a great season for us.
Away from the pitch too, full-time inclusion brings with it a whole host of added pressures and demands for the players and the management.
The big challenges is seeing how the sevens is going. It's becoming highly professional. The Olympics created a new dimension, and we need to be prepared and to step it up and keep it with the other teams.
There are lots of things you've got to find out, but it's what suits you, your players, and your management team. And each team has to find its own rhythm. And that's rhythm to the day, rhythm to the week, rhythm to the logistics, rhythm to training, recovery from training. It's a very sharp learning curve, and you've got to pick up on those things pretty quickly.
And who better to pick things up from than the reigning series champions, willing midweek training partners in Australia.
We're going to play against New Zealand in a practice game, and we're going to win. It's the start of the Gold Coast Sevens tournament.
Well, it's good. Every time we play against them, it's really tough because they are the best team. So for us, it's very good to play against them, and I think we did well.
It's in Portugal. Sevens and rugby, it's not professional, and we only have like a group of 20 guys to practice, and it's not a good level. And here, with these games, we can improve our skills, and with that 9 tournaments, I believe that we're going to improve.
But training is one thing, match day is another.
It's a glorious day on the Gold Coast in Queensland. We're at Skilled Park.
In their first match as a core team, Portugal would run out against Wales, and they got off to a blistering start.
That's the mess again, big handoff. Overlap, should surely go. There's the try. Oh, a little slip away. Is there a penalty here? Well, what will they do? Surely they'll go for the 3 points. They haven't. Should have done surely with what? 50 seconds to go. Mind you, they're going to score it anyway with Shellard. Portugal disappointed. They look very much in control in the first half.
Disappointment in their first game, letting the lead slip at the death, and despite some frantic defence, Argentina outclassed them too. More positive signs, though, against France.
Now, continue to work this short side. There's the kick ahead, no sweeper at the back. He needs a good bounce. He keeps it on the toe. It pops up brilliantly, and PEDRO LEAL will score for Portugal. And the long. He puts a foot on the gas, gets the fan going, and is that the game breaker? Is that the one that's going to dampen the Portuguese spirit?
So, winless on day one, a tough baptism to life as a core team.
We had 2 close games. Could go either way. Tomorrow is another day. It's like a new brand day. The first match is the most important. So we need to put our focus on the first match, on the team that we're gonna play tomorrow, and perform well.
Day 2, and as the top sides chased the cup, Portugal arrived primed to compete in the bowl. But they found another of the new core teams, Canada, too good on the day. And the glum mood was compounded with a Shield semi-final loss to Scotland. So winless and an eye-opener, but much to build on from the opening round in Australia.
We'll learn from this. I think we are very disappointed, but we still have a lot in front of us for the rest of the year, and we'll take this for home. We'll learn with our mistakes, and we become stronger, I think, and better for the next ones.
We have now, we only have to think about Dubai. This is the next tournament, and we have to appear there with another face, with a clean face.
And what better incentive for them in Dubai than to try and match their achievements there of 2 years ago, when they memorably beat England for the first time. 8 tournaments still to go then, and for Portugal, the only way is up. This year, Dubai would also stage round 1 of the first Women's Sevens World Series. 3 years ago on the very same ground, it was Australia who captured the first Women's Rugby World Cup Sevens title.
It was the most amazing experience. There was the top 12 players in Australia for sure. The girls were at their absolute peak of fitness, They'd been playing rugby for like 10 years, so you know they were ready to roll, they were ready for anything. And we had a great coach and management team as well, so everything just kind of come together. So we had the best 12 players, a few of them from touch, you know, a few from rugby, a great blend. And Jason Stanton, our coach at the time, like, he was just so smart. He just gave us a game plan. He'd look at all the other teams and he would say, this is what they're doing, this is what we're going to do.
Australia impressed early on, but lined up against the favourites in knockout play.
Everyone was worried about England. Like, we turned up and England were physically in shape. Like, they just had no body fat. They would look like so good, you know. So everyone was worried about them. But you know, we just went about our own business. We were quietly confident in ourselves and our game plan. And we just took it to every game, you know, and gave it our best shot.
It is the first ever IRB Women's Rugby World Cup Sevens final.
I don't know if I should say this, but I remember being sent off, and in those 2 minutes, that was the only points that New Zealand scored, so I didn't feel so good about that, so I had to come back on and redeem myself. But the crowd were going crazy, and I just remember it hurt so much. Like, sevens is the most challenging sport that I've ever played, but I just remember digging deep.
There's nothing in the tent, nothing. Do the hard work, let the subs come on and lift us a bit. 1, 2, 3, top!
Our captain Cheryl had said to us, you know, we've got to fight for every inch on the ground, and that's just what it was like. If we wanted to win that World Cup, we had to fight for every inch to win that final.
The glory to Australia, and that's what it means.
So fast forward 3 years, what can we expect now from Australia's women?
I believe we are going to be so much better than the 09 team. Australia, with the mix of the touch players that we have and the good blend with the rugby, I don't think anyone else in the world will come close to us. Just with our spatial awareness and our ball skills, as long as we get that toughness coming in, I think we'll be all right. The number of competitions that are being played around Australia, it's like every city, every town wants a piece of this sevens buzz, this Rio 2016 Olympics. So everyone wants their sevens comp and they want everyone to come. And with that, so many of the girls, they want to be involved, obviously. Who wouldn't want to be? It's the Olympics. So there's so much more talent coming down and trialling rugby out.
Last season's Challenge Cup events offered a taster. This season, the women's game reaching new heights with that first ever World Series.
It's so awesome for the girls to have their own World Series. We've got 4 legs, Dubai, the US, China and Amsterdam, so to be able to travel around the world and play against the best teams in the world, it's a milestone for the girls. I'm so privileged to be a part of the whole sevens buzz and where it's going, taking us to Rio. We're so excited. We've been preparing ever since we heard the announcement of the new World Series for the girls, so we can't wait to step out in front of that crowd and just put on a good rugby show, really.
Still to come, we try to keep pace with England's Dan Norton. And we're in Asia for Rugby World Cup Sevens qualifying. Welcome back, and our focus now falls on the impressive HSBC Asian Sevens Series. More competitive than ever this year, with rivals Hong Kong and Japan aiming for top spot. Mumbai would decide the series winner and also who would qualify automatically for the World Series qualifier in London next year. One familiar face in Mumbai was the top IRB Sevens point scorer of all time, Ben Gollings, now cutting his teeth as a coach and out to cause an upset with the rapidly improving Sri Lankans.
A friend of mine actually was involved with the Sri Lankan team, Phil Greening. He's just starting to do some work, but then he managed to get the Scottish job, and he asked me through the Sri Lankans whether I'd be interested in signing a 2-month contract to help them with the Asian Nations and kind of build from there. And if you look at the players we've got here at the moment, they're good athletes. They can get around a park, they can throw a pass. They've got what it takes. It's about nurturing that now and really developing it. And you know, hopefully we keep going like this, then definitely I think they've got the ability to be a very strong team in the Asian Nation and hopefully push for a slot on a World Series at some point.
And Gollings' side enjoyed a fruitful first day, qualifying for the Mumbai quarter-finals, where they would give title chasers Hong Kong a real test. Dinusha Taturanga making his mark, but Dairis's men with a little too much composure and experience. And late in the second half, cracks did appear in the Sri Lankan defence, allowing Tom McQueen in for his hat-trick try.
McQueen lurking out on the wing once again, Steps inside this time though. Some lacklustre defence by Sri Lanka, and they're in for another score.
Sri Lanka a stern test, but Hong Kong crushed their next opponents, Chinese Taipei. Captain Rowan Varty collecting a hat-trick of his own and marshalling the defence to keep Taipei from scoring a single point. Hong Kong's nemesis, Japan, were also showing impressive form, so a winner-takes-all showdown appeared to be on the cards. Lotte Tokiri finding acres of space for the Japanese to score a first-half brace as they dispatched Thailand to reach the final. So, with the Asian title and an automatic spot for the World Series qualifier up for grabs, the pressure was on in the final. And it was Hong Kong who struck first. Alex McQueen finding space off the set piece to put them ahead.
Japan piling on the pressure here. Hood stolen the ball though. Varty out to Haynes on the wing. Can he make it all the way? No, Varty's in support back on the inside again. He's trying to make it. Shunya Goto's cutting him down. A great tackle by the Japanese forward. Hong Kong recycle the ball though. It's Haynes again. Hewson's in support. The ball goes wide. McQueen on the angle. Can he make it? The ball goes out to James Hood. What a fantastic try for Hong Kong. Hood with a kick-off. Takiri's under this one for Japan. He fails to collect though, and it's Rowan Varty on the ball now. He goes blind. Who's in support? It's Kwok Kat Chung. Has he got the pace? No, but he's got the power.
We knew we had to come out and work hard. Japan were missing in Shanghai, but the boys responded magnificently and kept the momentum going from Shanghai and proved that we are #1 in Asia this year and hopefully for a few more years to come.
Mumbai and the series only half the jigsaw though for Hong Kong. There remained the all-important Singapore Sevens, which would also double as Rugby World Cup Sevens qualifying for Asia. And following the same form guide, it was Hong Kong and Japan who reached the final, in doing so booking their places in Moscow next year. And this time, Japan eager to make amends.
They're piling on the pressure here. Katsuyuki Sakai, the captain is over. Japan in the hunt for another score here. Chuetsu Narita on the ball, he goes blind. And Japan are all square.
With the conversion, Japan held a slender 2-point lead, and when Hong Kong were forced out of touch in the last play of the game, Japan exacted some revenge. The Japanese leading the charge to Moscow then, Hong Kong also qualifying as finalists. Hey! And there was still one qualifying spot up for grabs. The Philippines, coached by former USA Sevens Supremo Al Caravelli, up against South Korea for that final golden ticket to Moscow.
Santos on the ball run. He's shaking off a few tackles and he's over. South Korea desperate to try and get back into this game. They've got the penalty. A quick tap by Jeong Ming. It goes out to Jong Mang. And Yong Sik is on the wing. Have they done enough though?
The Philippines elated, deserved reward for the hard work put in over the past year.
We're so proud about going to the World Cup. Third place, it was a hard one, third place as well. Credit to the boys, they worked so hard in training, our training camp, in all the games as well. So yeah, unbelievable.
Asia's women's qualifier also featured the third-place team from Oceania, Fiji, and they proved too good for their Asian competition, booking their place in Russia ahead of fellow qualifiers China and Japan. Australian Sevens events have long been a graveyard for England sides, and so it proved again this season at the start of the HSBC Sevens World Series. Since then, England's full-time contracted players have returned home to lick their wounds, and we found one of them back home in Bristol.
The first tournament in the Gold Coast didn't go as well as we would have liked. We stuttered a bit, and going in, we went in quite confident, and we was in a good shape of mind, and we thought within our team we'd end up somewhere quite a good result. But defensively, we weren't very good at all. If you're going to miss 47 tackles like we did in 6 games, regardless if you're the best team in the world attackingly, you're never going to, do very well. And over the last couple of days, we've been looking at those issues, and we're looking to, improve on them, and Cam Dubai be a stronger outfit for it.
Dubai has proved a far happier hunting ground for England in recent times, and for Norton especially. His tries and priceless ability to strike at the right time and relieve pressure have been a key factor in making them the kings of the desert for the past 2 years.
Yeah, we're excited. We're going to Dubai next. You know, we've done pretty well the last couple of years. We're all buoyed and looking forward to kind of starting up that again, but there's still a lot of few things we need to implement and improve on. We're taking kind of some of the best bits of some of the best teams in the world, and we're trying to be, you know, a unique outfit, if you will. You know, we're trying to, you know, play a bit more like Fiji, a bit more flair, but, you know, we've also got that resilience and that dominance at front, and I think that's what kind of, we may not show it in the first tournament, but I'm sure, you know, you'll see it over the next coming season. There's a lot of hard work to be put in, and, you know, that's what we're there to do. We strive to be better.
For Norton, that has meant hours of gruelling work at the world-class English Institute of Sport at nearby Bath University, a centre for excellence among Britain's sporting elite and a paradise for sprinters and power athletes.
He's thereabouts with some of the stronger, sort of pure power speed athletes that I work with, but he's also got to be able to run a lot when he's on the sevens pitch, so sort of compromise to a degree, but he can push near similar to some of the big guns.
5 seconds, come on. And relax.
It's a good environment here because he gets to sort of see what other sports are doing as well as just what rugby and rugby sevens can push and do. There are sort of other sports here that are just purely power-based, just lift big weights, so he gets to see that and it's a nice motivation.
Pull.
But Norton's not chained to the gym. He's also regularly unleashed on the athletics track to hone the smooth as silk sprinting technique that makes him such a potent weapon for Ben Ryan's England sevens side. And on the subject of speed, who is the quickest on the World Series?
I'd say we've got one guy, potentially Matt Turner, when he decides he wants to run. James Fleming from Scotland. Again, he is unorthodox but very, very quick. And there's a new guy, Carling Isles from America. Apparently he's like the 80th fastest person in the world.
Here he goes then. Now then, how fast is he? Pretty quick. If not, incredibly quick. If not, there you go.
We heard about him from one of the guys from America. He said, watch out for this guy. And yeah, then we looked out for him and saw him come on against New Zealand and just burn the first try, and it was quite ridiculous to watch it, to be fair. So I'm looking forward to playing against him, but again, it's going to be quite daunting. But you know, that's sevens, that's life, that's all it is. It's just about raw pace, isn't it?
So the sunshine of Dubai next up, but the weather hasn't always been guaranteed. Finally, this time we continue our Golden Moments series, looking back to one unforgettable year when the sun forgot to shine and South Africa splashed to the title in 2006.
You join us looking at a vastly different scene from the IRB Sevens World Series in Dubai. It will be slippery after rare, heavy rain.
Bus on, an injection of pace takes him away from the defence. South Africa, courtesy of their playmaker, Basson, march on to the Cup semi-finals, one step nearer to the goal of winning the Dubai Sevens.
And it's a breakaway. This surely will seal it. South Africa smile, knowing they've made the final.
And here they come, South Africa and New Zealand.
They come out now to face the mud, the water, the uncertainties that the conditions must provide.
And here they are, breaking away, playing the ball. Berger kicks through. 12-0 to New Zealand. He has it again. He off-passes it to Ndaka, and he scored straight away. Basson, he's got Damas out to his right. One man to beat. Danwell Damas gets around the New Zealand captain, and the point production continues for South Africa. Basson with great speed. Basson all the way.
That's the winner.
And that's the try for a man who's played such a big role in their effort here over 2 days. A fantastic win for South Africa here at the Emirates Sevens 2006.
So who will win this year in Dubai? Whoever it is, let's hope the sun shines on them. We'll find out next time on IRB Sevens World. See you then.